la 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 la. Ha la 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 la. Alaska lights like a marker on the midnight map. Two presidents touched down where the cold winds clap. Trump with a briefcase, Putin with a stare, talking ceasefire, swaps of land and what each will dare. Off 15 in Alaska, high stakes on that line. Don't exclude hands, Crimea whispered between signs. No deal without Ukraine. Zelensky cries, it's against peace he wants. Europe watches closely as the global weather turns. Over 3 years now, with heavy loss and displacement. Reports say Putin may ask for recognition in exchange for a silence. Trump floated some swapping of territories to better both sides. U.S. debate and Europe's concern, and in the diplomatic tides on August he brokered Caucasus talks. Azerbaijan and Armenia, 35 years cut short, a transit corridor. U.S. development rights, a new route to retort. Og 15 in Alaska, high stakes on that line. Don't exclude hands, Crimea whispered between signs. No deal without Ukraine. Zelensky cries, it's against peace he wants. Europe watches closely as the global weather turns.
Breaking beats for Saturday, August 9, 2025. This playlist is intended for entertainment purposes only. Always consume news from a reputable source. Track 1, Alaska Line, Aug 15. On August 15, 2025, U.S. President Donald Trump will meet Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska to seek a ceasefire on potential territorial exchanges to end the 3-plus-year war in Ukraine, drawing strong opposition from President Zelensky and concern from European leaders, while the US also announced an Aug 8 Azerbaijan-Armenia peace deal. Track 2, City on the Line. On August 8, 2025, Israel's Security Cabinet approved a plan to take military control of Gaza City, prompting global condemnation and fears of a worsening humanitarian catastrophe. Track 3, Tripping Toward Tomorrow. On August 8, 2025, at the White House, President Donald Trump hosted a landmark peace agreement signed by Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan and Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev to end decades of conflict over Nagorno-Karabakh and create a US-developed transit corridor, TRIPP. Track 4, 1102, Cranes for Peace. On August 9, 2025, about 2,700 people, including representatives from 95 countries, gathered at Nagasaki Peace Park for the 80th anniversary commemoration, where Mayor Shiro Suzuki warned of the rising threat of nuclear war and urged concrete steps toward disarmament. Track 5, Steady Through the Black. James Arthur Jim Lovell Jr., commander of Apollo 13 and veteran of Gemini 7, Gemini 12, and Apollo 8, died on August 7, 2025, in Lake Forest, Illinois, at age 97. Please enjoy today's breaking beats.
to the core. Pakistan stood up and cried foul. All Merton leopard in Israel warned of costly endless boots on the ground. Hamas screams blatant coup and vows resistance. PAJ calls it extermination sound. City on the line, 61,000 gone, half women and children in the toll. About 50 hostages held, only 20 may be alive. Families plead to save soul. Hospitals at risk, NGOs crying, don't displace the displaced, don't close the door. City on the line, the world says rethink, the ground is shaking to the core. City on the line, lives law and future all on the floor. Think twice before you go. City on the line, lives law and future all on the floor. Think twice before you go. City on the line, lives law and future all on the floor. Think twice before you go. City on the line, lives law and future all on the floor.
White House lights and two leaders walk the line. August 8th, two signatures, a hope and skyline shine. Trump stands between Pashinyan and Aliyev, pens on the page. Cessation of hostilities, a new chapter on the stage. They pledge to stop the fighting on our borders and meet diplomatic ties, a handshake where the two flags greet. They built the TRIPP, Trump route for international peace and prosperity. A southern Armenia corridor to Nagasaki, US rights for industry, railways, oil and gas pipelines, fiber optic threads in the earth, deals on energy, trade, AI and defense ties give a new worth. US lifts all limits with Baku, investments flow and start a blueprint for more trade, technology, infrastructure and hard hope. Hands on the map, TRIPP on the track, signs on the White House wall. Seize the fire, open trade, but the question still call from Yerevan to Baku. From Nakhchivan shore, we sing for peace and prosperity, but remember what's before. Shifts the chessboard, US influence into the Caucasus night. A move against Russian and Iranian sway in a strategic fight. Both capitals asked to close the Ostminsk group door. A new era of deals, but will the calm last more? Aims a cries foul, says it rewards the 20 offensive gains. Calls for returns, prisoners free, justice for the pains. 100,000 displaced homes emptied in that sweep. Long-term peace needs accountability before wounds fall asleep. Hands on the map, TRIPP on the track, signs on the White House wall. Seize the fire, open trade, but the question still call from Yerevan to Baku. From Nakhchivan shore, we sing for peace and prosperity, but remember what's before. Hands on the map, TRIPP on the track, signs on the White House wall. Seize the fire, open trade, but the question still call from Yerevan to Baku. From Nakhchivan shore, we sing for peace and prosperity, but remember what's before. But remember what's before. But remember what's before.
The bell cut through Nagasaki, the city held its breath. At peace park we stood to 700 strong, honoring the rest. Represented from 95 lands, US, Russia, Israel in the rows. Mayor Shiro Suzuki spoke, the threat grows and the warning shows. Raise the cranes at 11:02, keep the silence bright. Hibakusha speak under 100,000, now the memories alight. Neonidenkyo won the Nobel in 24, their call still clear. No more nuclear skies, no more fear, we hold the future near. Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba vowed Japan will not possess or make. 3 non-nuclear pledges lead the push for a safer state. But Japan has not joined the TPNW, says the umbrella keeps it tight. While survivors tell of harrowing scenes and why we cannot hide. Mayor Suzuki, delay is no longer permissible, act by the charter's light. Young hands, world leaders, turn the wrongs to right. Raise the cranes at 11:02, keep the silence bright. Hibakusha speak under 100,000, now their memories alight. Neonidenkyo won the Nobel in 24, their call still clear. No more nuclear skies, no more fear, we hold the future near. From Nagasaki, Peace Park to every capital and shore, we sing the numbers, names, and please. Never again is what we swore. Raise the cranes at 11:02, keep the silence bright. Hibakusha speak under 100,000, now their memories alight. Neonidenkyo won the Nobel in 24, their call still clear. No more nuclear skies, no more fear, we hold the future near.
He learned to fly where Cleveland skies met Milwaukee rain. West Point class of 52, a naval aviator in the frame. Test pilot school, then NASA called in 62. Gemini missions proved the work a brave crew could do. Gemini 7, 14 days with Frank Borman by his side. Gemini 12, he commanded Eve and rendezvous with Pride. Apollo 8 in 68, with Borman and Anders, they took the turn. 3 men first to circle the moon, watched Earth rise and learned to yearn. Steady through the black, Jim kept the calm, the plan. Successful failure, they brought the crew to land. Houston heard the story, the line that changed the map. Jim Lovell steered us home, steady through the black. Apollo 13 in 70, an oxygen tank blew in the night. 2 days from the moon, they fought to keep each other tied. He worked with mission control, cool voice in a storm-tossed craft. Houston, we've had a problem, and they guided them back. Lost Moon told the tale with Jeffrey Kluger at his side. Tom Hanks played him on the screen in 95. Jim made a cameo ride. Presidential Medal of Freedom, Congress Space Medal of Honor 2. Retired 7-3, then business the